management. It is an entrepreneur. It is not an academician. It is a business analyst. If that business venture, if that product, that launch, that innovation gives you more than the cost of debt, company will become another Google. The company will become another Indian example. Name it, Grasim. If that venture fails, then that company will become another Orkay Industries. I'm not sure if you remember the name also. This was another famous company which started with Reliance. But today nobody knows about it because it's dead and gone. Friends, we come back and finish by saying that let's apply this principle again of risk versus return to this learning. And then I take your questions. This principle, risk versus return. Let's apply it now. A banker who gives a loan, is playing the low risk, low return game. A banker who is giving a loan is playing the low risk, low return game. That is it. That's what he's playing. Low risk, low return game. So what is that low risk, low return game that he is playing? He says, you give me my 11%. If you earn more than that, you keep it. I don't want very high returns. My 11% is fixed, give me my 11%. Low risk. Why low risk? That is low return. 11% is low return comparatively to an equity. Why low risk? If you are not able to pay my EMI, if you are not able to pay my money back, I will come and seize the asset. Because whenever a banker gives a loan, invariably that loan is secured. Here is the jargon. What is a security? That security means if tomorrow you don't pay the loan or an installment of the loan, banker will recover. How will he recover his money? By selling off that asset. What are the jargons here in secure? The jargons for secured is, right, what is a security? Security is the banker saying low risk. अगर आप मेरे को नहीं देंगे मेरा पैसा मैं उठा लूँगा. Please understand that jargon for security is, you may have these terms, Mr. Kapil, dear friend, security, hypothecation, Akhil bete, hypothecation, a small revision for you, mortgage, pledge, all jargons, collateral. Last jargon, you can keep adding to it, charge. All jargons. So what it essentially means is that if you cannot repay my money back, simple, I will seize the asset and sell it. Low risk. You see, I have given you 5 crores. My 5 crores is secure. Excuse me? When the banker gives you 5 crores, first thing is, okay, let's put it the other way around. You are buying something worth 5 crores. Let's put the other way around, an easier way of doing it. Sunil sir has been very proud. Sanjay Shinde sir. You are buying something worth 5 crores. Will the banker give you 5 crores straight away, sir? What does it? That's it. Again, very, very fast. So what does he say? At least I will get 4 crores when I sell it. Though it is worth 5 crores, brilliant, Mr. Mani. Thank you, sir, for bringing it up. Why does the banker keep saying you bring 20%? We use this jargon. The jargon is margin. 20% margin, 10% margin. Why? Because he is using as a function of solvency. If tomorrow this company defaults, at least I should get my money back. Excuse me, sir, simple logic. If the bank is giving you a loan against some product which can get obsolete very fast, Thank you for nodding, Mr. Kapil. Akhil, I'll need your support. A banker is giving money towards any product which gets obsolete very fast. Will you take lower margin or higher margin? One last jargon. Thank you very much. All this paper, agreement, everything, looking at security, margin, it is known as, please remember this jargon, always, it's used frequently by finance colleagues. Due diligence. Banker carries out due diligence. Due diligence means what, sir? Due diligence means verification. Due diligence means verification. So now, before we break for tea, one last line. Debt is about low risk, low return. Equity, on the other hand, if you are investing in equity of any company, maybe Reliance, maybe Grasim, maybe ACC, maybe SBI, if you have picked up a share of that company, and equity basically means owner, equity basically means owners. What happens in this case is high risk, high return. High risk, high return. You, Sanjay sir, you select the right company for investment. Supernormal returns. It is legendary stuff in India that people have got their daughters married off because he invested in Reliance shares. It's legendary stuff. People who would have invested in Wipro shares when Mr. Premji joined the company, right, today would have had a second income as retirement income. The people who would have picked up the Birla Group company when Mr. Kumar and the restructuring took place would have laughed their ways to the bank. People who would have invested in State Bank of India with this bull run of 20,000 would have been very, very good. But please note, it is high risk. If you happen to select the wrong company, you lose your entire capital. That matrix there, you have one guy who is low risk, low return. You have another guy who is high risk, high return. Why is it high risk? Whenever the company is liquidated, the owners, the equity shareholders get nothing. First to get will be the lenders, secured lenders. Second to get will be unsecured lenders. If anything remains, nothing remains. Right? It goes straight to equity. Equity is high risk, high return. Friends, last thing before we take a break, liabilities and assets. Why is it? This is subject of finance, logical. Why balance? Balance means it has to be same because liability side should be equal to asset side. From wherever you have raised that money, post T we are going to look at how are you applying that money. Both have to be equal. Both have to be equal. Source has to be equal to application. It's as simple as that. Having said this, a small recap, and it will be a pleasure to take questions and then break. We looked at three statements: profit and loss statement, which is profitability; cash flow statement, which is liquidity; balance sheet, which is solvency. We started with balance sheet. We said balance sheet is a static statement. Balance sheet is as on a particular date. Balance sheet is a figure of liabilities and assets. Liabilities are sources of funds. We covered two sources of funds, equity and debt. There are two principles of finance, and I have keep on harping on the first principle, risk versus return. Debt is low risk, low return. Debt is also known as leverage. Debt is also known as leverage because by applying a small force you can lift a heavy load. Similarly, by having small units you can borrow a lot more and you can do business worth much more than what you have. Debt, anybody who invests in debt is playing the low risk, low return game. Anybody who invests in equity is playing the high risk, high return game. Having said that, it is known as balance sheet because the sources should be equal to the application. Logic again. Assets. Akhil would know, I have already interacted with the young man. Except that I wanted him to get a flavor of second day, tomorrow. Please know, logic again. What will the company do with its money? That is so simple. It's just a tax. Company will buy land. Then what it will do? It will erect a building. Then what it will do? It will install plant and machinery. Then what it will do? It will have furniture and fixtures. Company would invest in land. I am repeatedly saying company. Thank you, Mr. Mani, for nodding and smiling. This is what keeps the trainer going, right? Thank you, Mr. Rajesh, for your kind words. Right? Please note, the entire logic is company is an artificial person. If the company gets some money, what does it do with it? It invests in land, it invests in building, it invests in plant and machinery, it invests in furniture and fixtures. This entire lot is known as fixed assets. Makes sense? Also, another jargon that is used for this is known as, another jargon that is used for this is CapEx. Another jargon that is used is CapEx. Sanjay sir, have you heard about this jargon? CapEx.
Every year we have budget CapEx.
That's it.
Budget for the.
That's it. That's why I asked you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mani. CapEx stands for, Yashpal sir? Capital expenditure. Budget for capital expenditure. And I'm sure somebody as senior as Mr. Mani, you better be very, very clear on the budgeting practices, because CapEx typically involves a lot of cash. It's a huge long-term decision for the company. Normally when we join, it's a 1 year on the shop floor, rallies, 90s, before I did my MBA. Normally when you join an organization, thank you Mr. Rajesh, you are taking decisions, this is CapEx, big decisions. Normally we start by wetting our hands, and wetting our hands means you get into operations. One is CapEx decisions, second is working capital decisions. Normally the way it is, sir, is you start with working capital, then go into CapEx. Very happy to note that some young friends are immediately got into CapEx. That's because you are capable. But normally, logically, you have two types of decisions. You have two types of assets. One is fixed assets, second is working capital assets. Asset side of the balance sheet, I will put it here. Arey Menon, this is all good. Having fixed assets, having land, building, plant and machinery, Mr. Anuj is very good. But don't you think you need money to run your day-to-day business also? Oh, so that means you have got something known as working capital. What is working capital? Working capital is nothing but current assets minus current liabilities. So what is working? I'll simplify it. Just in some time I'll simplify it. Working capital. Capital needed for day-to-day working. Working capital. Capital needed for day-to-day operations. Now, that means what would be the assets required? Now, what is this current asset? Forget everything. Just forget everything. Let's use logic. Let's use logic. Forget everything. Let's not get into current asset. From there we'll have current ratio. So, बाद में पहला एकदम logic से जाए. What is the logic here? You will buy raw. Now look at this. I am drawing what is known as working capital cycle. You will buy raw materials. Mishra sir? Simple. Then what do you do with that raw material? Right, value addition. So that is what you will say, work in progress. Then with that work in progress, what would you do? You will convert it into finished goods. So you have raw material, the which is converted into work in progress. That work in progress is converted to finished goods. Then that finished goods, what do you do? Come on, Mr. Menon. Finished goods, obviously you sell. Logic? Thank you for smiling. Now sales, life is not that simple ever that you sell and you get money. If money comes like that, so very simple in life here.
Debtors.
Right? Well, thank you. That's where the problem starts in life. Sales, many of the time, is on credit. That means I will not use the word debtors, right, like my esteemed colleague did. I only tell my kids, I am telling you all logically, this is what is known as receivables. Because I tell you what's the problem, Mr. Mani. You are a fine person, but normally people get confused between debtors and creditors. Remember our MBA days, right? Don't remember debtors, no debit, no receivables. Mr. Kapil, I have given you money, I have given you goods. I'm sorry, I have given you goods. You are supposed to pay me after 3 months. It's a receivable. Now let's look at it logically. That means you are indebted to me. Thank you for smiling. Only a trainer would understand, sir. Right? This is the satisfaction we get in training. You are indebted to me, huh? That is why he will be called as debtors. That's it. But you don't like the word debtors, call it receivables. Simple. But why debtors? Debtors means you are indebted to me, you have to pay me. Now, you also have cash sales. Now you get the money, what do? You again put it back in raw materials. You get it back in raw materials. That means, there are two types of raw materials. Either you purchase in cash. What the world does to you, you will try to do to the world. What the world does to you, you will try to do to the world. In fact, we are paid for it.